on an air mattress on the living room floor of her sister's apartment. Borja Núñez, 87, tries not to think of the flames that filled her apartment building. She never imagined it would be like this. Her daughter, granddaughter, and great-grandson curled beside her, 4 generations of the Núñez family sharing the same mattress. Almost 6 weeks ago, a massive fire roared through the family's apartment building on West 144th Street in the Hamilton Heights neighborhood of Upper Manhattan, destroying the homes of the Núñezes and 35 other families. Over 250 firefighters and emergency personnel responded to the fire, which officials said was fanned by the high winds that day. The majority of the families, most of them from the Dominican Republic, have squeezed into relatives' apartments. 9 families have been placed in city shelters or hotels, some as far as Jamaica, Queens, about 15 miles away. Few have found permanent housing. That is because the families cannot afford most of what they find, they said. Many lived in rent-stabilized units, paying $800 to $1,300 a month for 3 to 5 bedroom apartments. Market rate rents for similarly sized apartments are beyond their reach. God is putting us to the test to see if we are worthy, Ms. Núñez said in Spanish on a recent evening. Ms. Núñez remembers the day she moved into her 3-bedroom apartment, September 20, 1974. She said it took her a while to feel comfortable in a neighborhood where drugs and crime were rampant. But she came to love her second-floor apartment, where she lived with a daughter, Dulce Amada Peña, a granddaughter, Suhey Madera, and a 3-year-old great-grandson, Sael Madera. Since the fire, they have been sharing the 1-bedroom apartment of Ms. Núñez's sister, Milagros Núñez, also in Hamilton Heights. But it is uncomfortable. 8 people share 1 bathroom. And Ms. Núñez, who has trouble with her spinal cord and has osteoporosis, has to be lifted by others from the air mattress every morning, like with a crane, her sister said. "We're hanging in," Ms. Madera, 27, said. "It's not like we're sleeping at a shelter. We're with our family." The family used to pay about $800 a month for their apartment, and coming up with it was a challenge. Ms. Núñez and Ms. Peña are retired and live on fixed incomes. Ms. Madera earned a degree in psychology last year and is looking for a job. Ms. Madera has been leading the apartment hunt, but she said she was quickly realizing they might have to squeeze into a smaller apartment away from Hamilton Heights, where real estate prices are on the rise. The other day she found a 1-bedroom in the Bronx for $1,500 a month, but it required $5,500 up front. Immediately after the fire, the Red Cross stepped in and provided tenants with emergency shelter for 2 or 3 days. Later, the city's Department of Housing Preservation and Development offered the tenants temporary housing in shelters or hotels. Families may stay indefinitely as long as they are working with case managers to find permanent housing options, said Juliette Pierre-Antoine, the department's press secretary. For Elizabeth Mercado and her 4 relatives, that meant being placed in a Brooklyn hotel.